Welcome back to another episode of Black Ice Reality Check. I'm your host, Black Ice. I have a special guest on the show today, Paul Bauer, who is a master certified life coach, and he has online courses, and he is in the manosphere space. Red pill, right?
Yeah, I lean more red pill.
Red pill, not pink pill, but red pill.
Can I cuss on your show?
You can do whatever you want.
Hell
man.
yes, okay.
Unless we got to, transition on an OF, that's a different show. But, and I've seen you travel. You've been traveling. You were over in the UK with Troy.
Yeah.
You were over there.
Went to the UK, did the touristy thing with Nurse Chick. Nurse Chick's my girlfriend, and then
right on.
And then we got to hang out with Troy Francis, the legendary Troy Francis.
Yeah, he was on my show. I put up another episode with him and Thoron today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just went up, but that was like months ago. I'm like so far behind, but it's okay. So now I'm just doing lives on Wednesday. So I'm glad you're here. I wanted you to talk a lot about what you do. I see your reels all the time. I see your Instagram stories. I see your YouTube. You're busy. You are busy.
Yeah,
you're busy, and you got a battle between you and Glenn going on.
Yeah. Glenn Lawrence, if you didn't know, I'm the undisputed world manosphere champion.
Whoa.
And that jabroni, Glenn Lawrence.
Enough of that. I got a mic over here.
He's back there.
Let me just say this.
Oh, he's got a mic back there.
He doesn't have a mic.
Yes, I do.
Oh, you shouldn't be talking.
This candy ass is not going to kick my ass. I'm going to smash him. He brought his own nurse to build him back together. Like, he's going to need all the help. All right? You're going to need all the help.
We only got 30 minutes, man.
We only have 30 minutes. Just cut the crap, okay?
Take my name out of your mouth.
He challenged me for the undisputed world manosphere championship. So we're going to fight this out. Is this pre-recorded or are we live right now?
Pre-recorded.
Okay.
No, we're live.
So there's a space-time continuum, but this Saturday at the time we're recording this, I'm going to kick the crap out of that guy. We're doing it. We're having a wrestling match in a boxing ring, which is
with boxing gloves on.
It's not a smart thing to do. If you know anything about wrestling rings versus boxing rings are stiff. They're
100%.
Yeah,
I boxed for 8 years. Yeah.
So it's gonna hurt Glenn a lot when I slam his candy ass on the mat.
Wow.
So.
You guys got medical insurance. We got a nurse here.
I have a nurse chick. She's off screen.
He's got VA benefits. I think you guys are okay.
We'll be all right. Yeah,
but if you show up at the next podcast, you guys are all broken. I learned my lesson. It's like I stopped jujitsu a while ago as I got older. Injuries didn't heal. And when I was boxing when I was younger. So I want to ask you some specific questions regarding your specialty in the Red Pill. You're a master certified life coach.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest challenges and indifferences that you're seeing between men and women right now in modern times? I don't know how old you are, but when I was younger, there was relationships, the dichotomy was different, right? It wasn't so far away. I felt it was people were more aligned between the two genders. But now it's like opposite worlds. And it seems like before everybody knew what they wanted. Now everybody's like delusional. So can you address that?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case at all. So I mean, so I'm 44. How I got in this space was I was married. I was married for 14 years. And it's been so long. We've been divorced for 10 years now. And when I got divorced, I was, fat, out of shape. I was one of those guys that was like, well, I don't have to try anymore. I already got her, And so I think that contributed to the end of the relationship. I found myself back on the dating circuit, just fat and overweight without being in practice for 15 years, just realizing like, I used to be good at this. What am I doing wrong? And ended up in a relationship for like 4.5 years after that. And during that relationship, I lost a lot of weight and, but still I was like, still kind of a blue pill guy, very needy, very, put my girl on the pedestal type thing, make her the sole purpose of my life kind of thing. And that just kills attraction over time. And so when that relationship ended, I found myself back on the dating circuit again, but this time I had a much easier time because I was in shape. I was able to get dates. I was hooking up, but I couldn't keep chicks around longer.
Because it was different. Well, so I went through that after 16.5 years of being married. Okay. Same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what happened?
I don't know if it was different per se, but what I realized diving into the stuff, because I was like, what am I doing wrong? what am I doing? Why can't I keep chicks around longer than 3 dates? Right. And what I realized was like, I was a needy little bitch. I was a needy bitch. I was the one pushing for a relationship. I was the one trying to lock these chicks down as opposed to just spinning plates and seeing what happens. And then realizing that when you're the one that's not the needy person, these chicks are like, they sort of are more attracted to that.
Yeah, you have more value.
Yeah.
You're more, you know, desirable because you're not needy.
Right. And which is funny because we're all taught growing up like, oh no, you got to put women on pedestals. You got to woo them with flowers and chocolates and all this kind of crap. And so when you find that you're doing that because you're trying to set yourself apart, you realize that you're being like 97% of the other dudes out there.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
It's the chivalry that used to happen when you woo a girl. It's different in the it's not that you change, but in the beginning, it's like, okay, I'll take you out to dinner, open the car door, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
Your birthday is flowers. But it's the guy that's always trying too hard.
Yeah.
Then we go into the simp phase, and then it's very unattractive.
Yeah.
It's the guy friend, you friend zoned, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because in the beginning, like, oh, this guy Glenn, and they're like, oh, he's not what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
What she's saying in translation is it's too easy or too available.
Yeah.
You know, by the time the text hits your phone, you're already responding.
Right.
And then when you text her, you know, hey, I haven't heard from you. Hey, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not interested in this guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and I was I was so bad. I was so bad.
We all were, though.
Dude, I was the guy. I think one of the reasons why I call her a red pill chick, right? The relationship after my marriage that really got me into this stuff. I would text her all day long, just a play-by-play of my day. Oh, hey, I just went to the gym. Hey, I just ate a ham sandwich. Hey, I just, all day long seeking validation from her, right, through text message. And what I think a lot of guys don't realize is just how addicted we are to texting in general.
Well, it's funny you said that because I don't like to talk on the phone.
Oh, I don't either. Yeah.
And if somebody calls me, like I have your number, well, I'll get it. But like if you call me and I don't answer, I know you called.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't need to leave a message.
Right.
And so then I'll get back to him. I've even, I check my phone, but I've even turned off the text notification.
Mm.
But I'll go in and check my text and I'll respond when I have time.
Yeah.
But now that I'm so busy, it's like, I don't want to talk.
Right.
I can't. Like I'm jumping out of the shower, doing this, putting a reel up, running here, getting on the computer, doing that, so I get it.
Yeah.
Older you get, it's like you got 3 people you want to talk to. That's it. You don't want to talk to him. Her, maybe somebody else. Like, don't call me.
Right. I listened to an interview one time with Chris Jericho. Do you know who Chris Jericho is?
I think so.
He's a professional wrestler.
He's a
rock star.
Yeah.
He's got a podcast and stuff like that too. He was in an interview once and he was talking about how he's got friends that will send him voice messages over text, right? And I do that a lot. I'd much rather just send a voice message over text. You can listen to it whenever you want, get back to me whenever you want. I don't care,
Yeah.
And I'd much rather do that. And he says like he prefers that too. And he goes, and then every once in a while he'll get someone that'll send him like a 5-minute.
Oh.
And he's like, this is a 5-minute message. I got to take 5 minutes out of my day just to listen to this.
No, I do voice text, so I'll say the words and send them. But if I get a big dissertation, and my joke is like, you'll never win a text argument with a woman.
Yeah. Because
by the time you get your response out, she's got 5 paragraphs out, and I shut down, or it's like the DMs you get you go in your request folder for marketers and they send this. Did you read? No. If it's not one, no, I'm not going to read it all.
Right.
So I get responses. I was telling you earlier, I'll get responses from people that don't agree with my content, which is fine. You're open to your opinion, but they'll send this big, and I'm like, that's too long to read. I'll respond.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. It's like, get to the point. I don't want to hear your story.
Right.
We don't like stories, right? Guys are like, where do you want to eat?
Tell me the guy version.
Where do you want to eat? What do you want? It's like Ryan Gosling and The Notebook. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
That's why that's actually that comes up so much. The where do you want to eat conversation and the argument, and guys are so tired of it. I talk about it all the time on my podcast.
What's great, but then when they say we want men to make a decision, okay, so my girl competes, right?
Okay.
She's a national wellness champion, NPC, trying to get a pro card, right?
Yeah.
You know, meal prep, this and that. And then when you eat in front of her, it's like, you're going to eat that? Yeah, I'm fucking eating. That's why I don't compete, right? It's a cheeseburger, right? Well, aren't you going to get your abs back? I'll get my abs back when I want to get my abs back, right? So I'm on a quest now, because when I met her, I was this, 8% body fat, big guy. I don't need to be that big guy. I had the 6-pack, maybe 8-pack. But when she came in, I'm like, I'm not competing. Why am I this fucking big? Right.
Yeah.
And I feel guys can't compartmentalize. We can in certain things between, we forgot what we talked about 2 days ago or yesterday. But when it comes to being focused, hyper focused, and this is where the women fill that void and help the man in areas that he's lacking in. But if I'm focused 100% in one thing, something else suffers.
Yeah.
And Patrick and David talked about it. Don't change what you're doing until you get to like 2 million a year or whatever you're doing in business. So I was so focused on that. And then she came in and she's competing. She's younger, much younger. She's legal, but much younger. And it was like, well, I don't need to be like this fit.
Yeah.
But now I have my new supplement line. I have to represent, right? I have to get all my abs back. I have to be in tip top shape, because I can't say use my products and I got the dad bod, right? So it's like, oh shit. She's like, are you going to do cardio? You're not going to eat that, are you? And so when we ask to go eat, it's a battle, because she can't eat out now. And then she's like, we need to go on a date night. It's like, okay, we smoke cigars, right? Cigar lounge. But then it's like, we're an hour. I got to go to the car and eat my meal, right? So she's, I'm like, dude, I got to eat something. I can't eat this. It's cold chicken.
Right.
Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So one thing I learned, I have 3 books that really influenced me.
Okay.
And call them on the podcast my holy trinity of books, right? So I have How to Be a 3% Man by Corey Wayne. I have Atomic Attraction by Christopher Canwell, and Dating Essentials for Men by Dr. Robert Glover. Right? Those 3 I've read them on repeat, and that just really shaped my personality and how I dealt with women. And Atomic Attraction talks specifically about how to deal with your girl and the whole debate on where do you want to eat. And
really?
Yeah. And as soon as I started following what he said in that book, like it's just been effortless.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true? She's like, yeah.
So this is what he says. He says, just pick a place. Just pick a place. Cause he's like, most of the time guys don't care. Like we don't care. So he's like, if you don't care, I guarantee she doesn't care either. Just pick a place. So I never ask her where she wants to eat or what she wants to eat. I'm like, hey, we're going here. And I just say it. And she's learned, and she's never argued about it. She's just like, okay, yeah, sounds good. But she's also learned that I'm going to just pick a place. So if she really has her heart set on something, she'll suggest a place.
That's funny, because when she wants to go look at restaurants, it's like hours on the phone. And I'm like, oh my God, by the time this woman finds something, I'm going to be dead, right? It's like, oh, there's this places, but I'm like, you do realize it's 7 p.m. in Vegas on a Friday. Everything's booked. So I know some of the chefs are, I can call and say, hey, hook me up. I tip them well, but here, we'll find you a seat, and I give them a big tip. But it's like, oh my God, just don't get on the phone. Don't start looking for restaurants. And then she'll zoom in, look at the pictures. She'll spend 20 minutes on one restaurant and it's, no, let me go to the next one. And you still haven't gotten in the shower, right? Which is another 2-hour process. So
that's why I think men and women really complement each other, because women are super indecisive like that, right? So if a guy can train himself to be more decisive and just be like, this place looks good. Let's just go with that one, right? And just be very stern with it.
Yes.
Some chicks aren't going to follow your lead like that, right?
Well, but that's but see, in this modern age, what I've learned is like you said, I just make a decision.
Yeah.
And I just go, and it ends up being okay. Sometimes say, hey, I'd like to eat seafood. Boom, I'm going. Oh, we've already ate here. Okay, well, we're eating here.
Yeah.
I'm very basic with my food too.
Yeah.
I make the joke, people, I'm black and white. So people are like, oh, you want calamari? I said, black people don't eat calamari. I ain't eating that shit. Right. What is a squid? That's like octopus,
chewy.
but she's like, she's a foodie. Right. I'm like, okay, meat, potatoes, vegetables.
Yeah.
Don't you want anything else? No.
Not really. Yeah.
And then I get a cheeseburger if I have one, and I don't put stuff on it. And she's like, well, I said, I don't want rabbit food on there. She's like, well, why not? I said, do you put rabbit food on your filet? No. Why would I want to put it on my cheeseburger? Meat and cheese only. I don't want lettuce, tomatoes, all that. No. Right. So she's like, you're no fun. I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah, it's funny because I'll put out videos every once in a while talking about this, and inevitably I'll get someone in the comments, a guy who's just like, man, if it was up to me all the time, we would eat at Taco Bell every night. And I'm like,
Glenn.
I'm like,
it's Glenn Taco Bell Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah,
that's why we get along. So
Yokito Taco Bell. I introduced Glenn and Coco to my girls' coach, right?
Yeah.
And they put them on a meal plan, but it's funny because I'll see their stories. They're out eating. They're, it's like Taco Bell Glenn. Like, where are you at now, right?
Yeah,
that's not part of the meal plan.
Taco. What's really good? Because I try to stick to a keto diet mostly. It was really good. I don't know if they have it out here in Vegas. Do they have Qdoba out here? Or Chipotle? Do they have Chipotle?
They do. They got Chipotle. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Qdoba is basically the same thing, but Chipotle and Qdoba are great if you're doing like a keto type diet.
Yeah, they got a lot of varieties out here. The key out here in Vegas is to eat off the strip. When I first moved here, my example is I went to a medium, I call medium star sushi. You got the high end sushi restaurants, and then you got the fast food sushi restaurants where you go and everything's go right. So we came here from Seattle. She was in Tucson, moved to Seattle. Came here. Seattle's everything's overinflated price wise. And I sat down and I got my Diet Coke. I got my, edamame, 2 things of edamame. I got my California rolls, basic shit, right? Nothing funny that's moving or alive and shit like that. And no cucumber in there, right? I'm very picky. Got two orders of that. She ordered her stuff. It was like $48. I'm like, we're looking, I go, did they mess up?
For sushi?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a steal, man.
But you go to the strip, it's $48 for a Diet Coke.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I know because I'm there and playing poker, and then it's like some of the bartenders are like, here's a sugar-free Red Bull, right? But you go to Bellagio, sugar-free Red Bull is $9.50.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then they have we're staying at the Luxor, so we have the resort fee on top of that.
Yeah, you get the resort fees, 40. It's like I'm not using the dirty ass pool that everybody pees in. It's closed. Well, it's a resort fee. Well, what am I getting out of it? Bed bugs? I mean,
Yeah.
So that's an MGM property there. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. MGM owns a lot of them.
MGM and Caesars own the majority of the properties. So next time you come, there's a secret spot. It's owned by one of them, but it's in the middle. It's not expensive. Rooms aren't that big, but they're very contemporary. It's called the Link.
Okay.
It's right there in the dead center on the Walk Platz, I call it. But also I usually try, the room rates are all high right now. Nobody knows why, but there's the Wynn and Encore, which is independent.
Yeah.
Venetian and Palazzo, which is independent. Resort World, which is independent. And now you have Fontaine Blue, which is new. That's independent. And so when you get to those, Virgin Hotel, and then the other one, which is Hard Rock, which is Mirage, but it's Hard Rock. When you go to those are independent.
Okay.
So you'll see more benefits there because it's kind of like it's one company owns it.
Oh.
Versus a corporate, McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Last night when we were checking in to the Luxor, they had the audacity to send me a text saying, "Hey, you'll skip the line if you download our app and put in your booking number and stuff." You go to download their app, they're like, "Oh, our app's out of service right now."
Right, because they got hacked.
Did they?
Everything's down.
So we went there. The line was we were in line for what, an hour and a half, 2 hours. We were in line just to check in for like 2 hours last night.
Yeah, and if you go to Resort World, they got 3 hotels there. Hilton, I don't remember they got the Hilton, and then they got a medium, and then the high end, right? But that's the thing. That's why if you the Trump. That's independent. There's no casino, but I went in the Trump. They gave me a room for 4 days, 3 nights for free. Well, not free, but it was like $300 and something. And it was for her birthday thing. And I thought, I've never stayed here. I went in there and it's like, oh, it's a studio. The studio was as big as this and it was high end. It was really nice. I was like, holy shit, I got to view the Sphere, the Mirage, the Strip. And then they had a stove, they had a microwave, they had a full fridge, they had a Keurig machine, they had a toast. It was like an apartment. It was nice. I go, this is a studio, and I have been in the master suites up there.
Yeah.
When the politicians came, because I'm more of a capitalist.
Okay.
So met with some of the guys, and it was a big suite. It was like, so when you go to those places that are independent, it's like, this is so nice. Because the problem with the big companies, you deal with all the bureaucracy and the bullshit, and the employees are nasty. They're rude. Nobody gives a shit. And if you complain, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, I don't want to get off topic, but talk more about some of the interesting things or changes you're seeing and trends right now in dating and relationships. Because I feel every 9 months there's a shift.
Okay.
There's a new feminist term. Toxic masculinity. I was in a toxic relationship. All guys are narcissists. So what's the new thing out right now?
That is really trendy. I did notice for a long time, you're
misogynist.
Scrolling through TikTok, narcissist was the buzzword, and I have a friend. He used to go by Purple Pill Eric, and then it was Eric Explains. He blew up on TikTok because he did one video on narcissists, and I said, dude, you can make a whole series on this and just completely go viral.
Sure.
And so he's like, okay, did a whole series on that. Ended up with like over 100,000 followers and stuff, just talking about, because people like love the pop psychology bullshit, and I refuse to do it. I'm like, look, not everyone's a narcissist. Like, it's an overused word, yeah, your ex-boyfriend's a jackwagon. I get it, but doesn't mean he's a narcissist.
Right.
So that sort of thing gets thrown around too much.
I had a clinical psychologist, anger management clinical psychologist guy that I've known, good friend of mine.
Yeah.
He said in a relationship, there's a manipulator and a narcissist. He said everybody has, like, guys that are very like ambitious, we have a little bit of narcissism.
Yeah.
But then the interesting thing that I heard the other day was a person that doesn't post on social media at all. You don't see anything, they're more narcissistic than a person that's out there on social media. And they broke it down. I was like, oh shit.
That's interesting.
Because they're so self-absorbed in themselves. They feel, the need not to even talk about, or be out there and show themselves and express themselves. But then I find most of the women that are calling guys toxic masculine, toxic masculinity guys, or narcissists or misogynists. You look at their Instagram, it's like, dude, baby, you're all about your ass and tits. So I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, that's the thing too, is because women will tell you exactly who they go for, right? All of their ex-boyfriends, they're all narcissists, they're all jerks. It's like, well, that's just telling you what she's into, man.
Right, because when you prayed about God sending you the right man, you friend zoned him.
Right. Exactly.
And I did a whole thing on that, a series. The friend zone guys are actually the right guy for you. But you get bored. You're not into that. You're not interested. It's not like, I ask most women, if you had a choice right now, get the right guy, very successful, God, life, ambitious, financially, take care of you, and you guys go buy a beautiful house in Wyoming.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that, because there's no excitement.
Right. It's boring. It's
boring. Now, the more mature lady that's, when I say mature, has been around a little bit longer, a little bit older, she's like, I did all that. And I feel that people, in a way, have to experience life. I'm not saying get a high body count as a woman, but if you have not done a lot of stuff, you're going to get bored and complacent and then want to go with a guy that's like out there, like flying around, going on trips, because if you were single and a girl sees your Instagram and you're in Britain or UK, you're traveling, you're in Las Vegas, and here's this guy, he's exciting.
Yeah.
My husband just goes to, his insurance job, 9 to 5, comes home to Wyoming, this little house in this little town. We drive a minivan. They're bored.
Well, that's where I think guys make the biggest mistakes, really, because a lot of guys want to get into an LTR or they want to get married, and then they want to settle down and be the boring guy. But that's what they end up doing. They end up being boring. They stop doing what they did in the beginning to attract the girl in the first place, and they get complacent. They stop dating her. They stop doing attractive things. And then women do get bored with that, and then they leave or they cheat on them.
And I think too, a lot of that is to secure, not for the women, they want to secure the bag. For the guy, they want to secure the woman. They're like, oh, I got the girl, right?
Yeah.
Because they have no value when they're younger. They don't have an income. So what happens is they get to a point. I tell guys, wait till you're in your 40s. You know, I'm 54 tomorrow, but I met her when I was 48. She was 26, and I know from the outside, you're like, oh, 22 years, you pervert. But she's very mature. She's Mexican, raised to be a good wife. You know, born there, grew up here. I mean, it's like, whoa, you know, because my mindset was I'm done. I was going to be like, you know, Dan Bilzerian. I was out. I had the girls, the parties, making, you know, 7 figures a year. My Instagram, dude, you always got all these chicks. And then I meet this girl. I'm like, nope, I'm not doing young one no more.
Yeah.
And that's like, I'll cook. Okay, I'll clean. And not just like that, but she has a mind. She has an opinion.
Yeah.
But she's very feminine.
Yeah. Which is rare.
And I was like, well, and I thought about it as I'm getting older. I was like, you know what? I better, you know, now I'm at a point where it's like, I've been out there, had the fun, but I think these young guys at 25, they get this hot chick, 26, they're out of college, they have their first career, second career job. And they're like, okay, I think this is the right thing to do. And it's like, bro, you know what's going to happen when they hit 40? They got all this money. And now they're all of a sudden, he cheated on me. Yeah. Cause he's valuable.
Yeah.
He didn't get out there and soak his royal oats. Right.
See, that was one of the big mistakes I did. Cause I was that guy that was just running towards that white picket fence, you know. I got married when I was 20. I wasn't even old enough to buy alcohol at the wedding reception. And I had girlfriends before that, but I was like, oh, you know, I've had my experience, you know, but man, you just really haven't, not at 20. You know? Did
you notice as you got, well, I know you said you gained weight, but did you notice once you got divorced, how valuable you were?
I didn't notice it until after Red Pill Chick. That's really when I noticed it. When I lost all the weight and I realized, geez, you know, I make 6 figures. I'm in shape. If I look at all the guys in my area, and I live in cow country. I live in ranch country. You know?
Where at?
About an hour outside of Grand Junction, Colorado.
Okay.
And so
go Buffaloes. Dion.
Yeah, right.
We're coming.
Coach Prime.
We're coming. Yeah. We're coming.
So where I'm at, there's a lot of country bumpkins out there.
Right.
You know? A lot of corn-fed guys, you know,
okay.
a lot of, you know, burly guys out there.
Right.
And so when I realized, because the guys on the internet, they really focus on, you got to have 6 figures, you got to have 6-pack abs, you got to have, you know, whatever. And it's like, no, you actually, depending on where you are, you just got to be better looking than the next guy.
But the key to good relationships too is like good women are in C markets. You know, I'd rather meet a girl from there.
Oh yeah.
Than a girl from LA or Vegas, because I can turn her out for myself.
Yeah.
Not like to other people. But what I say that is I want to alpha the girl. And in order to do that, if I meet a girl in LA or Vegas or Miami, they've already been alpha widowed.
Oh.
And in Grand Junction, it's a smaller town. It's a C market.
Right.
They haven't experienced that. So if I find, oh my God, I went to, I'm joking, but don't laugh. Yeah. I went to the Cheesecake Factory in Vegas. It's like,
we're joking about that because she grew up in Grand Junction her whole life, and so I take her to certain places. She's like, "Oh, I've never been here."
But that's my point, and that's good because you alphaed her.
Yeah.
Glenn, you know, it's like I told Glenn the same thing. You know, Paul, Glenn, you brought him to new experiences.
Yeah.
And now that's great. Now get this, no pun intended. Seemed like a great gal, but for her, if you guys broke up, she's got to go you and above. Or me and above, right? And like, you know, you better get on the phone with Jay Waller or Andrew Tate. And they're not ready to settle down, right?
Right.
We're old. I'm older. I did all that. I did what Jay Waller's doing now or Michael Sartain. I already did that.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I didn't enjoy it, but if I was single again, I'd do the same thing and get it out. But you know, but I'm happy now. So the point is that you have to find someone that's in a market that's unseasoned and tainted.
Yeah.
Right. You know, Sin City, you know, every girl here, it's the same story.
One good thing about ranch country too is there's a lot of like conservative women out there. Right.
Oh, I love it.
And the thing about conservative women is, I mean,
there's pros and cons.
There's pros and cons, but a lot of them do have more traditional type values.
Yes.
You know, they might still sleep around a little bit, but I guarantee most of their body counts aren't like in the hundreds and shit. Like you might see.
Well, they know everybody.
Yeah.
They know. You go to the local watering hole. It's like, oh, that's his friend. Nope, I don't want to sleep with him.
Yeah.
I slept with his cousin. Right, Larry.
Which is kind of funny because like all the chicks that I dated in the area, every once in a while I'll be out on a date with a nurse chick, and like I'll see one or two, and I'm like, oh shit, that was that.
Yeah.
One.
Oh, wow. That's when I had no skills.
I don't draw any attention to it, so she never knows about
right,
it.
right.
I noticed it, and then I noticed
Paul, why are you acting different?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't act different. I don't act different at all because I'm just like, actually, it's social proof.
Has anyone ever came up to you while you're with her, a girl you dated?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, that would actually be funny though. But
well, you know, I saw a meme the other day. They said, make enough money until your ex calls you and says, hey, tell my friend that I dated you.
Okay.
That's happened, right? I had someone on Facebook message me, you know, because Facebook is like your family album. I don't know half those people, you know, and it's not my group page, it's my personal page.
Right.
And this girl started talking to me, asking me questions. And I'm like, oh yeah, remember school? I said, oh yeah. And then she's like, oh yeah, you dated my friend so-and-so. And I don't even know who her friend is. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Because I'm, you know, how many women you know,
right.
You know, you go through this quest. You were younger when you got married, but you kind of forget. And then she's like, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then she's like, tell my friend, you know, that I know you.
Okay.
Right. And it's like, and to me, I'm an average Joe, right? But you know, when they see us on a podcast, they see us in this space and they're like, oh, you know, you had Adam Sosnick on or whatever, you know, Glenn Lawrence or Paul. It's like, wow, you're famous. It's like, no, we're not. You know, but then you're out and about and somebody recognizes you, you're like, oh shit, okay. I don't even know how to act. You're like, hey, wait, you're that guy. It's like, oh, okay, it's cool.
Yeah. I haven't had that yet. But then again, like I don't think anyone in my small town like listens to the podcast.
Right. But you see, I'm here where everybody shows up.
Right.
So the probability is gonna be higher. You know, you're coming and going.
Yeah, everyone knows this is the West Coast hub for Red Pill.
And then everybody visits. So if you're in the casino, you're more likely, you have a higher probability of running into somebody, right? So
yeah,
interesting. So yeah, so you're in Grand Junction,
about an hour outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got Shetland ponies? That's would you ride?
Yeah.
That's my first horse, by the way.
You got a Shetland pony?
Yeah, an orange one.
There's a
white man, mean as hell.
Okay. We have there's lots of cows. There's lots of ranchers out there. There's lots of cows. There's cows that run on my parents live.
So you guys go cow tipping on Friday night?
That's a good day. That's a good day. That really.
And you don't drink Bud Light, right?
That gets them wet. No one.
I bet you the Bud Light truck's afraid to even go through your town.
People still drink Bud Light out there. It's kind of an interesting situation. But yeah, for a while there, people were like smashing their bottles and they're like, we're all switching to Modelo now. And it's
Modelo
like,
passed Budweiser.
Yeah, but I was pretty sure that Budweiser handles the distribution for Modelo, so it's kind of a dumb.
Do they?
Yeah, I think they do. They do. They handle the importing and the distribution.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But yeah, so it's just like Budweiser's still getting their cut of the Modelo sales. So are we really hurting them? I don't know. It's hard to get out from under Anheuser-Busch, you know.
Oh yeah.
They own so.
They're the mafia
out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in fact, I was like, oh well, you could drink Coors, but I think Coors now is owned by some conglomerate that also has their hands in Budweiser. So it's like whatever. You got to go with small time beer companies. That's the only way to get out from under Budweiser. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a real conservative town. Lauren Boebert's my congresswoman, so she's always in the town there.
Yeah,
I've met her a couple times.
Roper?
Yeah, the one that gets her tits filled up in theaters.
Yeah. Cool.
I met her a couple times. She's a cool chick. So that's the kind of girl.
You didn't date her, right?
No, I didn't date her. When I met her, she was still married because she was still, you know, the conservative, you know, traditional marriage person.
Right.
Yeah, until she divorced her husband earlier this year and is out on a first date fucking, you know.
This guy's like, she's getting her tits rubbed. How much did he sell that video for? He just probably just posted it.
Well, it was I think it was a security cam video from the theater that went viral, but it's like my mom, she runs like the local Republican office there in Delta, Colorado. And so my mom is the one that knows Lauren's people and gets Lauren to come in. And so I was talking to my mom about it. She's like, we think that guy was a plant, because the guy who was her date is a prominent Democrat businessman out of Aspen. So she's like, we think that it was a total setup. It was a setup.
That's so funny, because Aspen, everybody that has houses there is a big capitalist, billionaires, in Aspen.
But they vote Democrat up there. It's pretty there. It's a big Democrat center for the state.
Crazy.
It's interesting.
So what else is happening now? What's your next move? What's your next venture as far as travel or podcasts? You got anything booked?
So as far as travel and stuff, this is going to be the last one for the year. So
Okay.
Trip out to Vegas to kick the crap out of Glenn Lawrence. And then I'm working on a book right now. So once I get that done, that book it's not necessarily like a dating red pill book. It's really on everything I learned over the last like 10 years. And I'm like, man, I really wish I'd learned this when I was 18. So stuff on like finance, I wish things that kids should know, like teenagers.
So they're going to be titled, I Wish I Would Have?
No, because a lot of the stuff is stuff I did.
Right.
But some of it, like the finance stuff, I didn't start applying until I was like 35.
Right.
So I wish I would have applied some of this stuff, investing, earlier in my life.
Sure.
Stuff like that, stuff like how to pick a career. One thing that I was taught my whole life was, if you don't go to college, you're not going to be anything in this life. Right.
That's the biggest misconception.
Right. And so there's a whole chapter on the book about how, no, you don't have to go to college. There's plenty of things to do out there. You can get certified, guys, as a master life coach. You can get certified. I read a book. Have you ever read The 4-Hour Workweek?
Yes. That book changed my life.
Yeah.
He has a revised edition. But yeah, I read The 4-Hour Workweek, and that shifted my mindset to automation, which was very new then. And then I've been in the tech space for over 20 years, and I shifted to taking Fridays off.
Mm-hmm.
I'd work from like 10:30 to 3, if that. That was more than 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
But I cut my hours way back, like 15 hours a week, but I was still billing my clients 40, and I had, multiple accounts, but I got my time back.
Yeah.
And I took control of my life. But that book changed my life. Who's the author again?
I can't think of it, but
Tim
Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss, yeah. And then he was a kung fu guy. He won a kung fu championship over in China because he figured out how to work the system and push him out of the He's phenomenal. Yeah, it's a great book.
He's a funny guy. But one of the things is that I applied is that he said, to gain instant credibility, get yourself a certification. And I was like, well, do I have all these like industry certifications for IT? Because by day I'm an IT director.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we need to talk, because that's what I do. I service that industry.
Yeah. So I'm like, I was like, well, geez, yeah. I mean, he sort of has a point. I mean, I have a college degree. Actually, I have 2 bachelor's degrees, but I'm like, I know so many guys in the IT industry that have no degrees. They just have certifications.
Most of the IT guys, the software engineers, you need a computer science, but most of the IT guys, like the DevOps and the system admins and the network engineers, those are the guys that don't have the degrees.
Right, which is what I ended up getting.
Right.
And so I was like, well, if I want to eventually transition out of IT and do the podcasting stuff full time. And I'm like, I wonder if I can get certified as like a life coach. And so I started looking into it. Sure enough, there's courses online you can get certified as. So I got certified as a master life coach.
Wow, that's good.
So I was like, but I got that idea after reading that book.
Yeah, Tim Ferriss is the man.
Yeah.
Good book.
Yeah.
Well, hey man, is there any closing statements? I know we were really short on time because Glenn. It's all Glenn's fault.
That's that jabroni.
So hope you tap him out. So anyways, I'm just kidding, Glenn, but I'm not. So is there any messages you can send out, any final statements or thoughts that can inspire men and women? So 2 sides. So first, let's go. What's a solid message for women that can be beneficial for them looking for the right guy?
I typically, my content's not towards women at all. So I usually don't give women advice, but for women, if you're looking for a husband, which I think most women are, right? I think you really need to learn to look for a man to set the tone and lead a relationship and accept his leadership. And I think that's really hard for a lot of women to do today because
Right.
of the feminist messages, you know, don't listen to a man, basically.
Right.
You know? And then for a man, learn to set the tone and take the lead in a relationship. A lot of guys defer to their girl's authority, and that will kill attraction. So
wow, good stuff, man. Well, hey, Paul, thanks for coming on. Next time you come out, hopefully we have more time.
Yeah.
We get a panel, you, me, Rolo, get some people out here and get some more dialogue going. I appreciate it, man. Sorry we didn't have a lot of time. Thanks for coming on Black Ice Reality Check and watching the show. And remember, it's the only Red Pill YouTube podcast. Follow us, subscribe, like, share the video. The only YouTube podcast in Vegas where the truth will set you free. Stay strong. We'll see you soon. Good deal.